Hi, my name's Sarah Isola. I live in Sandy Valley, Nevada. I'm a wife and mother of five. I've worked at Sandy Valley Middle School for 3 years as an instructional aide, and I feel like I'm ready to jump into teaching, well, getting educated for teaching, and kind of take it from there. I'm going to read off the questions I have and give you my answers. I wrote my answers down too. It's hard for me to be on video, so I'm going to try to not just only stare at the paper. Question 1. How would you handle challenging situations with patience and empathy, especially when working with students who may have diverse needs or backgrounds? Well, we all know that patience and empathy is just crucial for working with children in general. No matter who you are, you can be the nicest, sweetest person ever. A kid is going to get all your nerves. It's just the way that it goes. Um, One of the things I found is that you have to find things that you like about the kids individually. Like you have to just love something about them. That way it kind of just balances the load because they are going to get on your nerves. Find good qualities in your students, laugh with them. I like to joke around with the kids that I work with. I like to use their lingo, just be one of them. It's important to have an open mind, and I feel like that comes really natural to me. I feel like I'm just really good at putting myself in other people's shoes. And I've been through all kinds of situations in my childhood that I just feel that makes me good at that now. Question 2. What strategies will you use to create a positive and inclusive classroom environment that values diversity and promotes respect among students? Um, Nobody likes feeling like an outsider. Everyone wants to fit in. I already felt like an outsider at school. It sucked. Having a teacher that makes you a part of the class and makes you valued is just awesome. So, it's important to educate yourself too about the cultures of the kids in your class because you want to know about them. They're important. We want to build on each other and learn to collaborate with each other because everyone brings something special to the plate. Leading by example. I feel like leading by example is a great way to. Sorry, I just drew a blank. That's how you show people. I mean, you got to mean what you say. If you want people to be respectful, then you have to respect your kids. If you want people to value one another, then you have to value your kids. I mean, it kind of just goes hand in hand. Um, Also, planning activities that involve different ways of learning, like a hands-on method, maybe some kind of visual aid, um, a creative aspect where you can draw or color, and then like an audio aspect, like just trying to hit all the senses of learning. Number 3, how will you approach classroom management and how will you ensure that disciplinary actions are fair and consistent? So I know classroom management is essential because I sit in classrooms that are just not managed and it's just horrible. Um, Boundaries are super important, and also starting off at day one with the boundaries. Um, Telling the kids the rules, just what's gonna you're gonna enforce the rules, just picking regular if you break the rules, you're gonna get a warning. You might get a call home. You might go to the dean, like just your general order of operations. Okay. Um, Students should be both cared for and accountable. So you don't want to just be like this rule person, like rule, 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 and everyone just feels like, it's horrible in your class because you're just mean and have rules. So we want to have fun in the class too. So we have to balance out of having fun and still being able to work with rules. Involving parents is essential. So when you involve parents with the class, you get their input. The parents talk to the kids about how to act in class. I feel like it's just a go-to to have positive feedback with parents. Question 4. Describe how you might adapt your future curriculum and classroom to meet the individual needs of children. Okay, so I feel like it's going to be like a lot of learn as I go, right? Because I don't have experience teaching. I do have experience in the classroom though, which gives me more insight. Um, and especially in the school I work with right now, it kind of feels like the administrator just gives the teacher the book and is like, here, only teach this. So I feel like there is a struggle of what teachers can and can't do, but there's always a way to like put a twist on whatever you have to do to make it a little bit better. And that just goes back with some stuff I saw was going over difficult vocabulary like in the beginning, not as you go, like trying to pinpoint where you might have problems in the beginning. Um, Another really cool thing I learned was just offering students a chance to draw, getting them off of the Chromebook. Draw, it has to draw something that relates to the lesson. But if kids could have a chance to draw, um, providing visual aids or like visual clips, and then it's always nice to have that chill ambiance with some nice music playing in the background, which I've learned works really good to help it keep kids calm. Question 5. How do you plan to communicate with parents or guardians to foster a positive homeschool relationship? Okay, so this is cool. So I work at my kids' school. So one of the things that they rolled out with was teachers calling home to say something good about your kid. So this is just weird because I've never heard of getting a phone call that your kid was good. It's always a phone call that your kid isn't acting right. So this gave me a totally different outlook, and it's really kind of a simple thing, and it makes sense. Like, we should be calling home to say, hey, your kid is awesome. Hey, I noticed your kid, he's putting in a lot more effort, he's trying harder. That's the stuff that parents like to hear. I felt so like prideful. I felt like beaming with pride when the teacher called just to tell me that my son was doing good in class. Like, who doesn't want to hear that? Yeah, we shouldn't just be getting hold of parents to tell them bad things about their kids. We need to invite parents into the school, invite parents into the classrooms more, listen to them, learn about their cultures, and then we need to get kids back into the community. So I work for a nonprofit that's right next door to the school. I run a food pantry, so I have kids volunteering time. I have parents volunteering time. Um, it's just a cool way to see people as people and not just like teachers and students. Number 6, how would you ensure that your teaching is culturally responsive and inclusive? So I would talk to teachers with more experience, just to get their input. I know that it's important to design curriculum that hits different cultures. There are different ways for students to share their own traditions. So it's like it becomes a cool thing for the class, not just something that's, different and weird. Visuals on the walls of kids that look like kids in the class, honoring and respecting different holidays, um, just learning, sharing cultural heritage and making it cool, sharing myths and stories, traditions. I mean, that stuff's all awesome. And it can all be taught, it can all symbolize some kind of manner of teaching or lessons. So I would like to thank you for this interview, and I look forward to learning more about education. Thank you. Bye.